You know, it's interesting. Of all the videos I've posted here on this channel, the ones that get the most views are those related to Kriya Yoga, and specifically to the Kriya Yoga pranayama breathing technique. Now I get it. There's a great deal of hype in the spiritual marketplace around Kriya Yoga and the Kriya Yoga pranayama breathing technique. When people hear the term Kriya Yoga, they're likely to think of some secret breathing technique which will give them some special experience, whether that be bliss or the sensation of the movement of a current up the spine or enlightenment, if you go by all the claims that are being made online. But in today's video, I'd like to take a step back. Instead of going into describing the technique, I'd like to look at how we approach the technique itself and how this can benefit us in allowing for the effects of Kriya Yoga to unfold. And yes, this might mean that we can experience the movement of current up the spine. When we first learn the Kriya Yoga pranayama breathing technique, it's only normal that we will have to pay particular attention to how we are employing the technique and how we are applying ourselves to the process. But as we continue through the months and years ahead, we don't want to fall into the trap of becoming overly fixated on doing the technique perfectly. We don't want to become overly concerned with where we're placing the breath, how long we're inhaling for, how long we're exhaling for, how we're sitting, the different mudra or bandhas that we're performing. We don't want to allow all of our focus to go into the technique itself. Because Kriya Yoga doesn't begin when we are able to perform the pranayama breathing technique perfectly. Kriya Yoga begins when the mind starts to soften and our attention becomes sharp. We can think of the technique to be like a scaffolding, a support for us, but that the real transformation happens when awareness begins to refine itself through stillness. Now let me say something about the current in the spine. For many Kriya Yoga practitioners, as they continue with their practice over the long term, begin to notice that when the mind quietens and the breath becomes more refined and softer, that something far more subtle becomes apparent. And they describe it as being like a current, a flow, or a movement which runs along the spine. Now, in many traditions, this is referred to as prana, or the flow of consciousness. Now, it's not imagined, it is there, but it's not created by the technique. What the technique does is it prepares the ground for our awareness to be able to perceive it, to feel the sensation. And here's the important thing. That flow, that movement, that current, that's not the final destination. That's just a signpost. When people chase this sensation, when they try to recreate it or force it to happen, what they are in fact doing is tightening the very thing that they're trying to open up. But when you relax and you stay present and you allow the process to unfold naturally, then it arises. The less you interfere, the more obvious it becomes. It's easy to see why the hype around Kriya Yoga is so powerful. People want quick solutions. They want quick results. People want a shortcut to enlightenment or to transcendence. Now, Kriya Yoga is not a quick fix solution. Kriya Yoga is more a relationship. It's a relationship between attention, the breath, the nervous system, and ultimately between the limited sense of self and the ultimate reality which lies beyond. It's the settling of the body, the quietening of the mind, and the softening of the ego that allows for real transformation to happen. And the current along the spine, the pranic flow, this is something which shows up along the way. It's not as a result of having forced it, but rather something which is experienced from having learned to listen. So here's my suggestion. Whenever you practice Kriya, and specifically the Kriya Yoga pranayama breathing technique, let go of any tendency you might have to chase after the sensation. Keep your practice simple and steady. And stay curious about what unfolds when you stop trying to manipulate the experience. After all, the real depth is found not in controlling the practice, but in learning how to surrender to it. I'd love to hear about your experiences, whether you felt the current or not, or indeed how your practice has evolved. Leave a comment below. And if you found this video helpful, do like and share and subscribe for more. Take care.